Well, hello, and
Hi.
welcome to the Fab Life. Welcome back to...
Oh,
I should say welcome back. That's always been here.
I'm always here. How are you, Ryan?
I
How
am
was your
doing
vacation?
well. It was fabulous. It was so wonderful.
Ryan went to a conference. Tell the
I
audience.
did. I went to the Art of Gender Conference and Everyday Life at Idaho State University.
So what was Idaho like?
It was beautiful. Actually, the campus was beautiful. Okay,
Yeah.
I really was not that optimistic about it when I was thinking about going. But when you stand at Idaho State University and you can just do a 360 and there's mountains all around. The air is clear. It's beautiful. It's very serene.
But would you like to live there all the time?
I wouldn't.
I
was happy to be back in Toledo.
Yes, I love Toledo.
I really was. I honest to God, was glad to be back.
Well, I had a wonderful vacation. I did my spring cleaning. I did marathon.
Oh, you did do spring cleaning.
Sleep sessions. And last Friday, my husband and I celebrated our 28th wedding anniversary.
God! Congratulations!
Yes, 28 years with the same guy.
That's wonderful.
He's fabulous.
Well, you're fabulous.
Well, thank you.
Two good people meet.
Well, you know, we have fun together. We laugh a lot.
Doesn't that matters so much?
Yes, it does. And, you know, after 28 years, it'd be too expensive to divorce.
But no,
not that I would ever consider that, but yeah.
You guys, I've always heard that you have to be friends before anything.
We are best friends.
And
my husband Tony and I are best friends.
That's wonderful. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm glad you had a great break.
Thank you. I think that's why I'm a happy person.
You're happy. Oh, because of Tony?
Well, that's part of it. I mean, he doesn't define me 100%, but yeah, I do. I have a happy life. Yeah.
Good. Well, she looks great, doesn't she?
Oh, thank you.
You do. So, okay, so we're glad to be back.
And why do I look great? Don't say.
I won't. You should
Our
say.
little secret. Okay. Go ahead.
So we're so glad to be back.
Yes, we are.
And we're doing here another session of the Fab Life with Deb and Ryan. And we're not going to start out with the housewives like we normally do.
No.
We'll save that to the end of the show because
we want to end on a happy note.
We do, because what we're going to talk about is not so happy, but it's urgent.
Yes, it is.
It's pressing that we talk about the serious international concerns that are going on as we speak. And let's
start with Japan.
Start with Japan. So I always say, what do you think, Deb? I've noticed I say that a lot, but Deb's so insightful. What do you think?
Right now, I'm just extremely worried about these nuclear reactors and if the fallout from this is going to reach our country. And of course, I have a personal worry about my sister Pamela and her family in Hawaii.
Yes, that's right.
So Pamela, please get in touch with me ASAP. Yes. I haven't been able to get in touch with her. So I'm very, very concerned. And of course, my heart goes out to all of the Japanese people who are suffering. You know, the Japanese government doesn't even know how many people have died.
No.
I mean, they're putting it right now at 3,100, but, you know, it was reported that in one town, there was a town of 17,000, where 17,000 and 10,000 of its citizens are missing.
Wow.
So, you know,
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I'm sure, were swept out.
Oh, of course. That's what I was going to say. 3,100 sounds so low. Unfortunately, I hope that that's all it is. But
well, so do I. But it's not going to be. No. I think realistically, it's going to be in the 40, 50,000, 60,000, or 100,000. I'm sure when it's all said and done.
Wow. And there's so many displaced people. So who even knows their conditions? I mean, this is sort of reminiscent of like Haiti, right?
It is.
I mean, although Japan is far more economically prosperous, has a great protocol to crises, but still, I mean, it's like reminiscent of Haiti.
But I was very disturbed at the Japanese government's initial advice to its citizens regarding the nuclear plants, saying that, I mean, these were people living within 30 miles, saying, just shut your windows and stay inside.
Yes, I know.
That's not going to do anything. You know, and then it came out this morning that they have been being a little too secretive, actually, about the condition of these plants. And there were other people saying that there were a lot of problems in the past with these nuclear plants in Japan.
Well,
so I mean, we're going to hope for the best, but it's not a good scenario.
No, and we had a ship headed for the area, right?
Yes.
And then they turned around and went back. I mean, these
radiation was too high. The radiation levels are too high.
Exactly. So to say shut your windows is
ridiculous.
It's not acceptable.
No, it's not acceptable.
It's not acceptable at all. And you know, the thing is, I have read is the same thing you're kind of talking about.
Yes.
They're losing trust. First of all, the Japanese government's losing trust worldwide right now. They're getting a lot of questions driven at them because with these nuclear establishments, they are supposed to be tested for the maximum crisis possible for this circumstance not to happen. Now, as someone stated to me in a previous conversation, I guess this goes to say that God is more powerful than anything we can expect. Okay, that may be true. But the idea is, this situation is not unexpectable. Right? You know what I mean? This is a possible situation they should have tested for.
Well, absolutely. And particularly that these nuclear power plants are right on the ocean.
Yes.
So they're also going to pollute the seas and radiate the seas.
Yes.
And those currents will travel with that radiation.
Yeah. They already said it's going to hit the United States.
Yes.
But it will not be
California.
it will not be enough that will be damaging, but it's the principle, it's the fact. We don't know that.
We don't know that.
That's what one article said, but
it could be because on the other hand, you have people being advised in California and other places on the West Coast to get iodide pills. Okay, and start taking them. Okay, so this is just a very, very
so
bad.
Deb, I mean, what do you think in the sense of like, does this? Well, United Nations is another argument, but I mean, is it something the world leaders need to look at as how we handle nuclear establishments? Like, how often are they tested? Do you know? Have you read?
I don't know about Japan. I really don't because, you know, Japan is a sovereign country.
Sure.
And so it's not America's responsibility to ensure the security of Japan's nuclear power plants.
That's right.
But what I'm beginning to become more and more disturbed is that there were problems with these power plants and the location of the power plants. And the fact that once the problems initially began, Japan's only initial response was to pour seawater into the core, which is not in the manual. It's not something that is normally done. So, anyway, it's just a terrible, and let me tell you, we are praying for the people in Japan.
We are.
Our hearts go out to you.
Absolutely.
And
again, innocent bystanders who are in such an unfortunate circumstance. And they're already starting relief funds, and so I hope that if you do have an extra couple dollars, even though it is...
Yes, please give.
Please donate and give.
And, you know, they also need clothing and tarps and, you know, all kinds of things to protect the people against the weather. So this is what we really have to concentrate on. But, you know, 63 countries are over there giving aid right now. We have 63 countries getting together. And I just find that so heartwarming.
Yes.
So,
because
you know, kudos to all of the...
Despite our religion, despite our race, despite our sexual orientation,
politics,
ethnicity... We are all brothers and sisters.
We're all brothers and sisters. We're all related.
Community. That's right.
We're all related.
We need to love one another. So,
yes.
Japan, you will be with us. I'm sure we'll talk about them and
absolutely.
circumstances. So another dilemma or crisis in the world that we definitely need to talk about is the Middle Eastern region, specifically Libya.
Yeah, well, Libya is in North Africa called the Maghreb, and Libya has a surprisingly, you know, Muammar Gaddafi has been ruling as a tyrant there for 42 years, and from what I've read and studied about his behavior, he's just an appalling regime.
Absolutely.
Especially appalling, you know, the way they treat women, the way they've used women, and it's just disgusting.
Deborah, he's illiterate.
He is an illiterate nomad, okay?
Yes, and he is ruling, a nation has ruled it for, you said
42 years. Right, it's time to retire, Muammar. But anyway, so I was quite surprised. I really thought that when the rebels so-called rebels.
Yes.
I like to call them freedom fighters.
Yes. Go good. Yes, I like that.
You know, rather than rebels. Why are we calling them rebels?
Yeah.
Okay, they're freedom fighters. They're fighting for their basic freedoms.
Exactly.
That's
a
you know,
point.
extricate themselves from under this tyrant.
Absolutely.
Who's just been abusing them for 4 decades. So anyway, they were making great progress, and then now I found it quite surprising that he has such a well-equipped and strong military.
Yes.
They're taking back these towns from the so-called rebels.
Yes.
Also, what I find very disheartening, of course, is that his military is reinforced with foreign mercenaries, right, whom he pays from African countries like Chad and surrounding. He just pays them to come in and just murder his own people.
Yeah.
So, you know, once a ruler, and this is what the audience needs to understand, once a ruler, a tyrant, can only control his people through the use of force and violence, it is time for that ruler to be removed.
Yep, that's right.
Now, I realize why we haven't gone in there. Because we don't want to upset all the other Arab countries. We don't want to upset the Middle East further and antagonize the Muslims against America. But, you know, there is a point of no return. There is a point where we should have somehow supported these freedom fighters in Libya and given them some kind of assistance in their struggle.
Yes.
I mean, we have to get rid of him.
Yes. And I have been very critical, Deborah, on my Facebook page of President Obama and his administration. I am very upset as a American who has the right to vote and who has freedom of speech, right? Everybody has a say in this country. And I am very upset. You know, Obama went and gave this prolific historical speech in Cairo at the beginning of his term. And he threw democracy around in that speech.
Yes.
He threw equal rights and minority rights around. And then when Egypt went into crisis, and I, again, call them freedom fighters, came to rebel against the government, our government did nothing.
Yes.
That administration did nothing. Secretary Clinton and President Obama hid. That's what they did. They didn't even come out and say anything.
He went golfing.
He went golfing.
I mean,
so if you're going to give a prolific speech like that and throw democracy around and have people begging for it, and you don't respond, what type of message are we sending then to the Arab nations?
I know. And, well, you know, I mean, they were putting it out on the news that the freedom fighters didn't want us to come in.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
All right, well, okay, that they were going to do this themselves.
That's right.
Well, clearly they can't do this themselves.
Yeah.
Now, President Sarkozy, though, of France,
yes,
what has he promised them? What did he say?
He promised
that he's going to support the no-fly zone.
The no-fly zone. Okay.
Because we haven't even implemented that yet.
Okay.
I mean, why are we dragging our feet on Libya? Okay?
Yeah.
Tunisia fell.
Yes.
Egypt fell.
Yes.
Libya has a stronger military than Egypt? I mean, I don't understand this. I don't understand why it's not taking on and being more successful. And then, of course, you also have Bahrain.
Yes.
Have you read?
Yes.
Now, this morning I was watching a video that was shot in Bahrain of the police or soldiers literally just shooting a man who was like, okay, here I am, I'm just shooting you, just like that. Saudi Arabia has sent 1,000 of their soldiers into Bahrain to help out the king, whatever his name is, Khalid al-Hamid al-Bin al-Du al-whatever. But anyway, but of course the situation there is this. It's like the situation in Iraq, where you have a majority Shia population who are being ruled by a Sunni.
That's right. That's
okay,
right.
and
Yeah.
of course now, all of that, of course, is in the
Yes.
past in Iraq.
Yeah.
But it is still to be addressed in Bahrain.
Yeah.
And of course, the Saudis are helping the Bahraini monarchy because they have a very quite vociferous Shia population in Saudi Arabia, which is a very small population. But do you know that in Saudi Arabia, if you're Shia, they literally have their own cities and towns that they live in.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Wow, I did not know that.
And I had a Shia student from Saudi Arabia who told me that often when he would go into a mosque somewhere and they knew that he was a Shia, they would go up and kick him. Literally physically kick him because he was a Shia. You know, this is the 21st century. Okay? Respect the way people want to believe.
Yes.
No one is going, and not everybody is going to believe in God the same way.
That's right.
Okay? And that is what has made America great.
Yes.
Is that we have freedom of religion.
Yep.
We don't care what your religion is in the United States.
That's right.
We don't care if you believe in God. We don't care if you don't believe in God.
That's right.
But what we care about is if you want to impose your religion on us and make it a state religion, that would be a terrible thing. And this is what has happened. So people want their freedom.
Yes.
It's the young people.
That's exactly right. It's the freedom. And this is what worries me. And I'll go back to Egypt. Is that our nation did not respond. I never asserted on my Facebook, never have made any claims that we should have sent soldiers that day. What I am saying is that Obama should have stopped his golfing tour, and Secretary Clinton, who was in office, should have made a public statement stating right then and there, we are supporting the people of Egypt. Much like they did as soon as Libya, as the rebels or freedom fighters in Libya went to power. They were on there immediately
and
saying
of course,
that
is why Hillary Clinton is over in Egypt right now, and the 6 top rebel groups who toppled that refused to meet with her.
Refused to meet with her people.
Of that. Because of that
And Secretary Clinton was highly received when they went there in 2008.
Sure.
I mean, you see how quick the turn of emotions. And the thing is about the Middle East is it is a vital region as we see economically, politically, socially. It is so vital to us.
It is. And it's strategic. I mean, look at the Suez Canal.
Yes. Yes. And it is for our safety that our government sticks to what they say. If you're going to go talk about democracy, you must you must support democracy in the world. We have got to get over in this country, and I guess probably most Western countries, playing it safe and sticking this big boys club. You know, because Mubarak is part of a little insider team with them.
Exactly.
They're not going to say. I am very critical of this administration right now.
Yes. Now that doesn't mean if President Obama or Hillary Clinton, I doubt if they'll watch our video. But if they were, I mean, Hillary Clinton has been one of my heroines.
Oh, mine too.
So this is very disappointing.
Her. Yeah.
And as we've said in previous shows, we have supported Obama.
Oh, absolutely.
And respect him.
Look, I was critical
as president.
Yes, and I was critical of various
But this is our right.
That's right. That's exactly right.
This is our right.
That's right.
To be critical.
That's right.
It's called freedom of speech.
That's right.
And this is what the young people in Egypt, in Tunisia, in Libya, and all over the Middle East, this is what they're seeking.
Yeah.
The freedom to speak their minds.
Yes.
Without being arrested.
To do simply this.
Yeah, without being arrested.
We're not causing any riots outside. We are doing this to voice our opinions.
Exactly.
And this is simply just, to me, a basic human right.
Exactly.
A basic human right. So let's talk a bit. Let's divert.
Let's divert onto kind of happier, fluffier topics.
And we'll talk more about people who definitely exercise their freedom of speech.
The Real Housewives of Miami. Now we're on to Miami. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills are done.
Which we hope they come back.
Right now. Oh, no, they're going to come back.
They're fabulous.
Oh, The Real Housewives of New York begin April 6th. I can't wait because that's my favorite show.
Oh, is it?
Oh, New York is my favorite.
Okay, all right.
Now, I started watching The Real Housewives of Miami because I wanted to see who it was.
Yes.
So it's really interesting. It is the Cuban-American show. All these women are Cuban, Hispanic.
I could see that from a photo shoot.
Yeah, yeah.
Guesstimate them.
But I mean, they're all wealthy. They're all socialites.
Yeah.
You know, I mean... Now, what do I think of them? Well, you know, they're not deep. They're not profound.
Okay. Okay.
They're rather...
Are there any, like, intelligent, successful women? Or are they all
one of the women is an editor of a magazine. One of the other socialites, I don't know all their names yet.
Yeah.
But apparently she's a real mover and shaker.
Oh.
So, but a lot of them are married. In this particular one, most of them are married, unlike some of the other ones.
Yeah, right.
Like the Atlanta. Everybody's I don't know why they call them the Real Housewives. They should call them the Real Divorcees. But anyway, yeah, no, it is. But, you know, these women are all married to very wealthy men.
Okay.
So, yeah, but, you know, it's not a deep show, not deep characters, but, you know, the fashion, that's one of the reasons I love, there are two reasons for my fans out there that I like watching The Real Housewives. Two reasons. One, I love studying the interaction of women.
I know.
Okay?
Yeah, communication and gender.
Yes, and how they really hate one another, and they're all bitchy to one another, and mean to one another.
Exactly.
Okay, nice in front of their faces, but as soon as one leaves, they start talking about them.
Right, right.
And then the other reason is the fashion. I like to see what's hot.
Yeah, what's hot. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
And,
sure.
You know, but they all wear too much makeup. In all these shows, I don't know what it is about makeup. I mean, I like makeup too, but I don't want to go out of the house looking like a clown. You know what I mean?
but that's...
I mean, a little artifice is good.
But, Deb, let's be real. I mean...
What?
Well, we're not naming names, so we can say this. I mean, look at some of the young girls that come to our classes.
They don't wear much makeup.
Oh, really? Some of mine do.
Some of yours do?
Yeah.
Oh, no, not mine.
Yeah.
No.
Some of them wear some heavy makeup. And I've seen in the halls girls wearing a lot of makeup.
No. I mean, I like to wear makeup, and I wear makeup every day, but I wear it very subtle. Now, if I'm going to a gala or a party or something like that in the evening where you're in evening gowns or whatever, that's the time to go all out, but not during the day.
Well, these women think they're doing that every day.
I mean, with their big purple eyeshadow and, you know, lines and, oh, God, it's just crazy.
Well, it is interesting, though. And so Miami, I love Miami. I've been there several times. It's gorgeous, beautiful, fun, good food. I'm sure they're showing that side of Miami, right?
Yes,
I'm sure they're
gorgeous.
showing Miami as an
But, you know, when
place.
I first went to Miami, this was, I don't know, last one was in Miami was about 9 years ago, 9 or 10 years ago. I was actually, and it was my first visit there. And you know how you picture a place in your mind?
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, yeah.
And then when I went, I thought it looked very dirty.
There are definitely parts of it, aren't there?
but also everything was in Spanish. I felt like it was in a foreign country.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, for you, because you speak Spanish.
I do speak Spanish. But oh, yeah, definitely it is.
Yeah,
but isn't it interesting? Most of these women are Cuban descent or Cuban ethnicity. But they don't have any Haitians. And there's a huge Haitian
No, they have
population
no Haitians on
in
the
Miami.
show. They're all Cubans. They're all Cubans.
What's his name? What's our friend at Bravo?
Andy Cohen.
Andy Cohen. I'd like to see a Haitian on there.
A Haitian, yeah. Okay.
So let's go. So you mentioned New York is starting.
New York and Joan
Do
Rivers.
you know, and Joan Rivers
has a new show with her daughter Melissa.
Who left New York and went to L.A. to live with her daughter Melissa. What an interesting show that is.
You know,
right?
I love Joan Rivers. Joan, I love you.
Love you.
You've always been one of my heroines because you've been through so much in your life and you keep plugging.
Yes.
She's like the Energizer Bunny.
She doesn't give up, does she?
She doesn't give up, and she's had a lot of pitfalls in her life, and she's picked herself up by her bootstraps and gone on.
Yeah.
And of course, I just love some of her shows. She's so irreverent.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anyone more irreverent than Joan Rivers?
No.
I love her.
She's an
icon.
Love you. An icon. And you know, she's
and
intelligent.
her plastic surgery, she's very
She's
smart.
Intelligent. She's a Phi Beta Kappa.
Yes.
She is extremely intelligent woman. She is not just big lips and boobs and
she's
plastic surgery.
78 right now?
Yeah, she's
and she looks fabulous.
She does.
With all her plastic surgery. I
still think she's
great.
beautiful.
She's beautiful.
She's so beautiful. So we love that show.
We love that show.
We love talking about it because it's Joan Rivers is always going to make your mouth drop and say,
I know.
Say that.
You know, on vacation, I saw that they had done an HBO movie kind of following her and her daily routines.
Yeah.
This woman is up like at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I saw that.
She has the whole day planned out. She's the hardest working woman that I've ever seen in my life.
She is. And I think when I watched that, I thought to myself, although I'm a young guy, but I thought to myself, that's kind of how I want to be. I hate to say that because, you know, that's exhausting looking, but I think it keeps her young.
It does.
Right? She can move.
You have to. You have to.
Her mind is fabulous.
It is.
She runs a freaking $1 million company with her jewelry.
Oh, yeah. She's an entrepreneur plus.
She's an icon and an inspiration for all of us.
So how have your students been this semester?
Students have been well. We just got over, midterm break there, kind of. So they're on to writing their proposals and research papers.
Fabulous.
And they've chosen wonderful topics. So, and they will present those in class.
You know, it was really interesting in my reading drama class. We've just finished the 4 first major plays, which was, we did Oedipus and Medea, second Shepherd's play, and Hamlet.
Oh, Hamlet.
And we were analyzing, this morning we were analyzing, from a feminist point of view, the type of how women were portrayed in these plays. But then we got into even a deeper discussion about how these plays represent very, very negative attributes of what it is to be human. You know, it's kind of vicious, violent.
Man is violent,
conniving, scheming, power hungry. So, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Exactly. Human nature hasn't changed, and it never will.
No. So to those people who say, "Oh, it was so much better in my day,"
oh no, it never changes.
It's always been the same.
We just have new technologies.
Man hasn't evolutionized that far.
No, we haven't. We really haven't.
No, we haven't.
And so it was fabulous.
That's great.
And my reading poetry students are just.
I would love to teach that class.
Oh,
that's wonderful.
It's a wonderful class. Next week we're going to be engaged in an exercise in eurythmics, which is moving your body to the beat of words or to the beat of music. So next week we're going to finish off. I'm going to finish off teaching all of the standard rhythms of poetry.
Oh, that's fun.
We're going to beat them out. Then in a team, they are going to get together and write a 4-line poem.
Oh, nice.
In that rhythm. And then they're going to have to create movement.
Oh, that's
and then
fun.
Perform it.
That's
It's going to be fabulous.
That is.
That way they'll never forget.
Yeah.
They will never forget.
Yeah.
Once you engage them physically. But I have the best students. I love my students. I love you students. You're fabulous.
It's been a good semester.
It's been a great semester.
It's been busy. That's
Very
good though.
busy.
I like busy. I don't like to be bored. So
anything else?
No, I think that's all for today.
So we want to tell you all to have a very blessed day.
Yes.
And always remember to stay fabulous.
Bye-bye. Happy Women's Month.